Welcome to Zentangle Project Pack number 15, day 3. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I get to play with letters all day. This is so exciting for me because I sort of miss sometimes my past life. And so what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you how to do some pretty simple initial caps. And initial caps were the decorated letters you see in books, like at the head of the top of a book, at the
Or
top
at
of
the beginning of a paragraph, right?
yeah, or something that almost like a dingbat, but with a letter in it. So here's a few examples of different ones that I've done, and I know it might look a little complicated to you, but I'm going to break it down into simple, easy to do things, and and let you have some fun with this. And I know you can use these for many different things in your life besides for tangled squares.
Right.
So we're going to work on this beautiful paper, but on the other side.
Because it's such beautiful paper, we want to not let it be unused.
I know. So we're going to fold this so that you can see the folds, and I'm actually going to go over it. I'm making a grid, a fairly simple grid, so that you can fit all your letters in there.
So she's going to take advantage of those, where the paper is folded.
Right? And we're going to mark halfway points.
Like from side to side,
Side
in
to
the
side.
middle.
And we're going to do that on each place. There we go.
And it's like, this is...
It's about a
It's
half.
ish. So
It's ish,
one
yeah.
of the major words in Zentangle is ish.
So I don't know if you can see the line all the way. There it goes. And you want to draw towards you. So have the piece of paper like straight in front of you. So that's the way to draw a fairly even line. And what I do is I almost make it wiggly so that you don't have to worry about it being straight. Then it has a little character to it, and it gives a little fun look to the grid. Take advantage of that cup of coffee in the morning and add that to your line weights. So we're going to do this again. Half, half.
And you're also changing the pressure too. I like that.
Right.
It's,
So
you get all those done. And just have fun with this.
we're going to do the same thing on going the other direction, so that we're going to have 16 blocks in each
Right.
section.
And if these, you can see even Maria's are different sizes. So
Right. Don't worry about it.
elegance of limits here. Good. So we got that done. So it's another form of a reticula.
Right.
But we're just going to use this as so you've sort of got 32 small tiles here. No, you've got more. You've got
26.
48.
Yeah, because
Right.
yeah. So I'm going to put down a fairly basic Roman alphabet, and we're going to do 2 of each because we're going to want to leave one naked, and the other one we're going to dress it up.
And this is a place that you can also decide to add other characters that you would use. So whatever your language character group is, you're welcome to use English characters. You're welcome to or the Roman characters, or whatever characters
Your
or
language.
symbols like.
Right.
Somebody who's really into, I don't know, chemistry or math, they could use all of the equation symbols and,
See, I have this folded under, so don't think that that's the end of the page.
And again, this is not about calligraphy as much as it is about creating a little structure on which tangles can grow.
Mm-hmm.
So think of this, I don't know, what would be an analogy? Well, that's it. Sort of like in some places in the Caribbean or different countries where coral grows, or oceans where coral grows, they'll put like old shells of cars or different metal structures down there to provide a support, and then it gets encrusted with all of these life forms.
Neat.
So we're putting these like familiar frameworks down into the tangled ocean to become, see what grows on them. I can see you thinking.
Yeah. So I didn't do an
Oh, you were
I'm
probably
trying
counting
to
squares. Right.
Yeah.
And I left this in just so you could watch Maria's hand do these letter strokes, because I tend to learn a lot just by watching the sequence of, how, what the order was and what the strokes were. So I figured that might be of interest to people, even though it's we're moving a little bit off of the, like basic Zentangle stroke, but still this is such a wonderful background of what informed this great adventure. And you'll notice that Maria is moving this in part because, well, we want to keep it under the camera, but also it's a comfortable place for her hand. So you just be moving this as you go. I love those little instant serifs that come off at the end there.
Mm.
And the slight curves. You can see that the downstroke is a little bit more weight than the upstroke. And as you're doing your letters, particularly if they're in a different language group, you'll get a sense of like seeing, my goal is that you'll see these forms as forms for perhaps the first time, and what you might do with them as shapes, as forms, what you might build on them, what might grow on them.
So I don't want anybody to feel like this was going to be a finished piece of artwork to frame or anything. I think it's a workbook kind of thing. What we're going to do now, and I've talked about this before, is that we're going to beef up these letters. And I created a simple way to do that is by beefing up the ends of the lines and then the curves on either side.
And a little bit of rounding.
A little bit of rounding. But you can see what a difference that makes with that letter. So here we're going to beef up the top of that line and then the bottom.
Maria and I were talking about this on the walk yesterday, and it's like reverse sculpting.
Right. So, so instead of sculpting where you're carving things off, you're going in and putting them in.
Right.
So that's like using clay, or like doing a portrait in clay, or
Right.
something like that.
Or it could be like if you were carving into like a linoleum block or something,
Right. So you can see with just a little bit of effort what a difference the letter is. And this will come in handy for different things that you're doing. It's almost like doing balloon letters without them being balloon letters, you know. We all learned those in grammar school, right? Or maybe. And they're not exactly perfect. They have a life to them that I like. Right?
And part of that imperfection is going to be, it's just going to disappear, just like we say the string disappears. But it's going to be more like how that car frame disappears with the beautiful coral patterns growing on it. So just enjoying how you can direct the shape of those letters. And you can also turn your tile and move it around and just zoom off and make things thicker or thinner wherever you want them. You can make something curvy straighter, something straight curvier.
And take the time to, you know, as you're going along through there, kind of move your head back and squint a little bit and notice, does that look about right? Oh, I need to add a little more weight over here. It would be like stepping away from a painting and looking at it from a distance. Just kind of squint a little, and you can see where the weights need to be.
And where you want them to be.
Right, right.
Yeah. This is not a you're not tested on this. This is not.
No.
And I think one of the most interesting approaches to this is whatever you do, even if it isn't what you expected, well, just keep repeating it and see what it looks like when you're done. I think a lot of people do that with typefaces in general. You know, playing with rounding, like Maria's rounding there.
And for the purpose of this project that we're going to do, the letter is going to fade back, so you don't have to worry about the letter too much. You just want it to have sort of a little bit of a presence. So we're going to go back and add just a few small little mucas and some, what do you call it? Like
we're always looking for the vocabulary.
Yeah, we had talked about a tethered aura, but
yeah, we're still playing with that vocabulary.
Yeah. The first thing what we're going to do is we have the brown micron, and we're going to go around each letter, or the whole thing.
And you'll notice that Maria's turned her tile to make the most easy way to reference the string, reference what she's auraing. And that's usually to the element being to the left of her pen.
Or if you're a left-hander, it would be the other way around. Yep.
And turning, the other thing I noticed in editing this is that a lot of your auraing is done so that the basic bulk of the stroke is up and down instead of side to side.
I don't draw side to side. Usually up and down, just because you don't have the same control over your pen side to side as you do up and down. I mean, maybe somebody does, but not I.
Right. So we've got
all
of those.
Have fun, you know. Turn this off and just have fun going around all these images.
And the beautiful part of auraing like this is that we'll set off the what we do afterwards, and just auraing back and forth, the white space becomes a very important pattern element.
So here we have the letters all with their auras on them, and they kind of look fun already,
Mm.
right? Great little alphabet to have without too much effort.
So now that we've got that foundation,
We're going to add some like single mukas where there looks like this space, like there's at the top of the A, there was more room to put it than at the bottom of the A. So I'm putting the loop part of the muka at the top.
and this is, Maria's using the muka element, but you could use any other tangle element that you would like that would
That
make
you're
sense in
comfortable
this.
with, right?
I can imagine diva dance going around that.
Yeah.
But these are wonderful, or flux, or anything that you would like to play with. But this is a really nice element. And again, the sort of distance between the auras and the thickness of the muka is
So
similar.
these little looping, like petals from like a flower petal,
Mm.
right? I don't know what else to call that, but it brings together the space and the muka fronds.
And then that little bit of rounding with the solid ink really makes a nice contrast. And then go in and just aura everything again. So you have the opportunity to create this entire typeface here. So you can see how the last aura holds everything.
Oh, it's hard for me to watch and talk at the same time here. I'm mesmerized with just the pen tip and the piece coming together.
We had this, when we first made our kit, we had the video back in the days of DVDs, and we got a letter from this person and said that, my cat loves watching it. Every time that's on, it was the TV at that time, she just stops and watches the pen go back and forth.
So you can see it actually doesn't matter where you put these mukas. Everybody's will be a little bit different, but in the grand scheme of things, it would be part of an alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't really matter. So if you have these, you have your aura, those muka fronds, some rounding, and those little leaf shapes between those four components, you should be
Right.
able to decorate your letter, and then at the end, put an aura all the way around it.
And I think that also is, to me, that appeals a lot, is like at the beginning, you sort of set that elegance of limits of okay, so what are the components that I have on my palette to work with? I have these colors, and I'm going to use muka and aura and those, what we're calling right now, those little anchored auras.
So in looking at these that are partially done, you can see where my strokes were. That you can see the first mukas, and you can guess how that went about, and putting the little flower petals in there.
So we hopefully have, given enough information here so that you get an idea of, oh, I could do that, and that's our goal. again, and we keep repeating it.
Oh,
Not that
I know.
not that that duplicate this, but you get that inspiration of, oh, I want to do that.
There's no one particular right way. We're just giving you the ingredients. Like,
Right.
we're giving you the ingredients for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you get the bread, the peanut butter, the jelly, and probably a knife you need.
Yeah.
And between those things, it's going to always be a little bit different. And so everybody makes it different, which one you would put first and how much of each one.
Proportion,
and
right.
Proportions.
So look at that.
Isn't that a pretty alphabet, huh?
I'll have a little bit of light and dark, a little bit of aura. Nice. And the beautiful part is that we got to use the whole back side of this paper,
I know.
right?
Isn't that great? Nothing.
Got a couple more here.
I just had so much fun doing this. Thank you, everybody, for allowing me my little favorite things here to sneak in.
And just to, Mooka is a very, very accommodating Tangle to fit into all of these bizarre spaces.
And if you ever see an alphabet of these initial caps, they were from the 1800s and
A lot of times,
right?
yeah.
You'll see now that there's a formula for it, and
So
you'll be able to take the formula and deconstruct it.
and play with it, and we look forward to seeing what you do.
What letters you write.
And yes, send us a letter.
Yes. Okay.
See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.